All right, how you doing today? Today we're taking a look at DIFIX by United Plugins. This is for DI guitars, DI basses. I also tried out on drums in this video as well, just to experiment around and see what happens. And I also tested out on guitar. I don't test it out on bass. Very subtle differences that you can do with this, but it does make a difference. It's really good for also an input gain for a DI box that has, or an input that you have on your track that has very little input. Low input, I guess you would call it, not little input. So we're gonna check it out here. And if you do check it out on ADSR Sounds, they offer a free plugin every month with every purchase. There'll be links down in the video description below. This month it is Tone Knob Stargazer. I'm not even sure what that is. Ambient Soundscape Reverb plugin. Check it out. It'll be different every month. So by the time you're watching this, it might be something different. Anyways, let's check this thing out. Let's go. All right, so this is DIFIX. Very simple interface here, as you can see. We have an input, output, intensity. Then we have two modes here, record and mix. Then we have an on and off. The intensity also blends the dry signal with the wet signal, if you will. So you could do a little in between. So let's play the guitar part bypassed here, just a direct signal without any amp simulation or anything on. Turn it on to the settings that I already have here. Now it's very subtle, but it is a little fuller. If I put it on record mode, it sounds very similar to the original. Let's do that real quick before turned off. Now, of course, this is going to depend on your input that you're using, and I'm using the Focusrite 2 i2, I believe it's called, just the very popular recording interface, recording direct into that, of course, and then using the DIFIX to add those little extra warmth to that guitar. Like I said, it's very subtle, very subtle. We got ourselves setting for bass as well, for bass DI, and of course we can experiment and try it on other instruments just to see what happens. Let's try with some guitar amp modeling on it. Let's get a clean reamper sound here. Turn it off. Again, very subtle. Another cool thing is that we can use it for like a really big gain input, or adjust. I'm gonna put this metal amp on here. We could dial in the gain, turn it down, turn it up. So it adds some of that grit, or dial it back very quickly. Now this is a recording that I did with a inexpensive interface. I'll pop it up on the screen here. And I just recorded the guitar part obviously here. And this is before. Very low input. So I used the DIFIX to boost the gain. As you can see here, I have it in mix mode. I have intensity all the way up, set to guitar, of course. Then we turn it on. And then if we run it through a guitar amp or something, turn it off. Now, obviously, it's a lot quieter. So what I did is I bounced down the direct signal with the DIFIX without the guitar amp on, so I can get a waveform here to look at. And it looks like so, and then I ran it through the same guitar effect. And then on this track, this is the original one, because you think, well, why not just raise the gain, which I could do here. And I raised the gain by 23 dB to match the volume. Now, the weird thing is, you can see the waveform. This was the original, just with the gain increased. The original being this one here with a smaller waveform. Then processed through the DIFIX plugin, you can see the waveform here. And you can see how it looks a lot cleaner. And this one kind of looks choppy and like bit grainy. However, when I play them, they don't sound too different. Let me, you guys be the judge. And there, here's the increased volume one. And again, the DIFIX one. So it obviously is doing something, as you can see the waveform here. And it does sound really good, in my opinion, on when you have the mix on, intensity all the way up, and is, you know, adjust the gain and put to your liking. Now, obviously, on different sources, it's going to sound different, whatever you're recording through. And I also like to experiment, so I tried it on drums. So let's hear what that sounds like. So let's try it on these drums, even though it's not designed for drums. We could experiment and have fun with it, because why not? So the drums before. So you could grid up some drums as well with it and other instruments. Experiment with it, check it out, let me know what you think.